from the tournament.
That's right, our final best of three for the evening. Pez, the Melbourneian Protoss player, came out of the group in first place, defeating Demi 2-0 with two Marjories back-to-back. Demi and Crimson, what are their plans for each other? I am a keen being to see this one, Zepph. I think that Demi is sometimes going to be that guy that if he feels like he's against the ropes, he'll start to whip out the crazy stuff. Because he hates to go down without a fight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some of the games tonight have been pretty messy. Let's find out if this is going to be a knife fight of a ZVZ or a more gentleman's agreement type of game. For the first time tonight on Acropolis, in the top left, he is Crimson.
The hell is this map? In the bottom right here from OSC Elite, in the blue, it is young Mr. Demilove. Had the pleasure of meeting at our Challenger stage at IM Sydney Community Stage. I met him for a beer before that, so that was cool. Good to put a face to the name. Crimson I've seen so many times that it's but I never get bored of it. It's always a blessing.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then an extractor trick, Zepph. That is a legit gas pool to start off with here for Mr. Demilove.
Okay. See where he goes with that. You can be, obviously with the gas, quite aggressive. You have speed sooner, you have Bane sooner. Crimson going straight for that hatchery first, then the gas, then the pool. So he'll have a little while before he has any units, so he's definitely going to have to be a bit more defensive than his opponent, at least for the first few minutes in this game. But we'll see what gets thrown out here from Demi, if he commits super hard to some aggression or if he just kind of wants to put a little bit of fear in him in the early stages.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some fast queen, fast lings, and I guess fast speed here for Demilove. At the cost of his economy, of course, but if he can find damage with this, I'm sure he won't be too upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually keen to see how this series plays out, because quite a while we had that sort of style. So going from like Crimson's opener into a quick third and then a lot of speedlings and Banes while you sort of attack each other because your opponent would be doing the same thing. Otherwise, a lot of Roach Headbutt, and you know, we're seeing a bit of a departure from that here with Demi going straight into the Baneling Nest after that speed. He's going to come in for a scout. Crimson may be able to get one as well at Demi space. And that would probably be pretty helpful just to know what that opening tech actually is.
You know what this map kind of reminds me of?
What?
As the Baneling Nest goes down for Demi, by the way. Looks like he might be getting aggressive here. This map kind of reminds me of Neon Violet Square a little bit, but without that pocket base and without the Neon Violet Squares. You know how it has like those high ground bases on the edge of the map and on both sides, and there's like a low middle. There's watchtowers as well, which wasn't the case on Neon Violet, but the expansion patterns from like third, fourth. I don't know. It's kind of the first thing that came to mind a little bit. But it doesn't have that pocket third, so...
I get where you're coming from.
You can tell me I'm wrong. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can tell me I'm saying that. You don't have
well,
to...
I didn't think of Neon Violet Square. But anyway, Debbie's attacking in here with a bunch of lings. Crimson's just buying time for these Banelings to get morphed. But he is actually losing a couple of drones in the meantime. It looks like Demi doesn't have any Banes of his own on the front lines just yet, and Crimson holds pretty well there for the moment. Demi, though, he actually droned behind this, which is a luxury Crimson didn't have for the moment because he didn't know what was coming next.
Yeah, I think Demi's going to go for the +1 Carapace here. Make sure these Lings and Banes, or rather the Lings, survive a knock from a Baneling and still be okay. As Crimson did get a Baneling Nest of his own, and sometimes it can make the big difference here in these Ling-Bane wars. Oh, Roach Warren, never mind. That's +1 attack.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, good denial there from Demi.
Yeah.
That scout.
Pretty good. I think what really made the difference there in that defense for Crimson is those two lings that he initially sent over, and he got into the main base just as Demi's lings were popping out. So from that point, Demi was like, you know what? It's not even, there's no point actually committing super hard to this. And then he squeezes in the extra couple of rounds of drones. But now Crimson's actually going to turn the tides here and do a bit of aggression of his own. Pretty decent main trade so far, but can he crack this with the Queens on the front line and the Roaches coming up?
It's going to be pad. Like, if +1 attack finishes for these Roaches, they're going to be two-shotting these lings. Oh, nice Baneling pick off there for Crimson. Demi loves Baneling not on position there, not being microed around. He's getting into that natural mineral line. The Baneling gets a great connection on the lings there at Demi Love.
More Banes being more for Demi. He might want to spread those Banes out.
Oh, the Roaches are out now for Demi Love. He's just got to keep those drones alive.
Loses 5, not the worst, because he was already up in workers. And he does hold a lot of those very bruised, so if Crimson manages to get in there again, he could pick up a few more kills, but he bought himself just enough time, got one really good Bane hit on the Banes of Crimson, and now there's a lot of Roaches out. So I don't think Crimson's going to get too much more done with the lings at the moment.
Yeah. Certainly looks like +1 attack's about to finish here for Demi Love's Roaches, and those Roaches are a force to be that can't really be messed with here by Crimson. Like, was he going to send the lings and banelings at that? I don't think so, Zepph. What, are you insane?
I just might be.
Are you ape droppings, Zepph? Is that what you're telling me that you are?
All right, Demi drops his third base here. About even on the drone count. Crimson having that earlier third base, of course, is beneficial, but Demi has the upgrade advantage. If he wants to push with this, that would be cool, but I'd also like to see him go straight into +2 otherwise.
Yeah, me too.
Because, I mean, you may as well hold that advantage. Crimson will be so far behind if you queue that up straight away, but it looks like he's really keen on just spending his money on Roaches at the moment while he waits for Roach Speed to finish up.
I'm going to get a queen pick off. That's always nice to be able to charge on in there, pick off some of your macro and get into the main. Crimson's trying to do that thing where he's like, oh, I'm making banelings over here, and he doesn't know about it. Unfortunately, he does, because the main base is the size of a thumbtack.
Yep. Okay. Demi's gone back to droning, still squeezing out those last few Roaches, and now he's going to head across the map. Okay, there's the +2. I was like, all right, come on, man. Where is it if you're going back to droning? So let's see how this goes. He's definitely going to have the upgrade advantage for this fight with 26 Roaches on the field to the 19 of Crimson. So Crimson's got to get a good positioning on this fight.
Yeah, and that +1 attack is going to really carve through these lings, and honestly carve through the Roaches as well. There is this big concave that Crimson's got, and he's got lings on the backside. That doesn't make enough of a difference. I just don't know. It's a lot of Roaches from Demi.
Ooh, I mean, that's really good positioning, though. He's got defender's advantage. Demi's Roaches are trading really well, even so. It's hard to say if he's going to be able to clean this up, but you know what? He's not reinforcing, so he's held this.
Yeah, certainly. Defender's advantage, like you said, Zepph, hit the nail on the head there. It's going to be the nail in the coffin of this attack from Demi Love. Does trade, so both players took some big losses there. Mainly the lings of Crimson died. It is all about the Roach headbutt right now. Demi Love's going into a second Evo chamber. He's going to have an upgrade lead, and it looks like he really wants to hold on to it with that second Evo pumping out Carapace as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a really nice timing for Demi to hit once again if he just masses Roaches, especially now adding in the Ravagers. He's also morphing a Overlord drop out the front of his third base and getting Overlord speed, so that could potentially do some damage. But it looks like Crimson's looking to find some damage of his own over at Demi's base. It's a little late, though, because that +2 is going to kick in by the time he actually commits.
All right, yeah. Damn, that Roach speed for Crimson, though. Moving out the map without Roach speed.
That's brave, man. It's so brave.
He is actually made out of titanium. It goes all the way from his undercarriage to the top of his head, that titanium that he's made out of. I mean, this attack better go well for Crimson, because if it goes badly, Demi Love can chase him down with those speed Roaches.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm pretty spooked for him right now. +2's finished.
I'm shook.
Yeah, and he's got to fight up a ramp too. He finds the lings there, And, oh, very nice. He's actually supply blocked Demi by taking out
Yeah,
that
for
one
a bit.
Overlord. 5 more on the way to help remedy that situation.
He's smartly enough waited for Roach speed here before committing super deep against Demilov,
And
who is still up an upgrade. And oh, this Roach attack in the main with a Dropper Lord. You talked about that earlier, Zepph. Here it is, actually yielding results.
yeah, very nice. 9 workers is way more than I would have expected that to get. But I suppose Crimson's whole army was out elsewhere on the map. So really well done by Demi. And he's got a very solid worker lead at this point.
Crimson's had a hard time keeping drones alive tonight. I feel like more Crimson drones have died than anyone else's drones.
Yeah.
Or maybe Pig's probes. Pig lost a lot of probes today as well.
That's also true. I like that Crimson's keeping up the pressure here by staying out in the middle of the map.
Yeah, certainly.
Moving forward aggressively, using the links to buffer here, commits for a second. Oh, actually taking a few biles there in the back of the army. But he's going to continue pushing forward here. Again, taking more biles, but so does Demi. Does he have enough to push through here?
Both players are taking some pretty sick biles to the face. The links come in from the backside for Crimson.
Oh,
and the way out is through for Demilov. Can he cut through? It looks like he can. And there's just mainly Ravagers here for Crimson. He's lost that meat shield. And these Roaches are springboarding off the edge of that creep and shooting him down. Demilov takes an engagement, takes the win, and is going to find himself on match point here in the deciders match. Crimson needs to win 2 in a row to move on to the round of 8. Demilov just needs to win one more.
Pretty clean game from both players. Demilov just having an edge the whole game though with the upgrades, slightly better economy. Defended a little bit better as well. I really like the idea of the Overlord drop. I think that really sealed the deal for Crimson because it sort of forced him into the attack. He's like, man, I'm actually a little bit too far behind now. And you know, it almost worked. Like it looked like he could have maybe broken through there.
Yeah, almost. It was so close. But Demilov definitely took the lead and held it with that upgrade advantage that he seemed to have the whole game. Like Crimson never saw +2 in that game, I don't think. Demilov was
I don't think he did.
I think he had like a 2 upgrade lead in the end there. So I think he was on 2-1 against 1-0, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just actually looking at the delay on the other side, on the other screen there. Yeah. So Crimson beaten in upgrades and in strong position there for Demilov.
Yeah, that's rough. He was really late on the roach speed too. Just kind of odd. Maybe just didn't have the money or neglected to get it. I wasn't really paying attention as to why it was so long before he got it. But it's a fresh game now, loading into King's Cove, and hopefully Crimson can put a point on the board here to keep his WCS summer dreams alive.
Yeah, all you Crimson fans out there in the chat, send your love and send your energy to Uncle Ben here, because he is having a rough series so far, and he's going to need to want to fight back here. We're going to one of those earlier season maps, heading over to King's Cove to see if Crimson can get it done. In the bottom right here, this is the man, the myth, the legend, SYF's Crimson.
And in the top left, spawning in the red, which is very confusing, he is Demi.
And Demi and the Crimson.
Elite. That's it.
All right. So Demilov opened things off with a a pull and gas. And it looks like he might be doing it again here. He is doing it again, because it's not an extractor trick timing. So there it is.
All right.
Wonder why. Maybe he's just sick of getting 13-12 from people.
Maybe. Are you seeing that a lot at the moment, though?
13-12s?
Yeah.
Oh, not really. Honestly. There are still Zergs out there that will, in a series, drop that 12 pull, but the gasless variety, where you expand behind it. And that's still quite annoying. And if you go pull first, that's an easy-peasy hold for someone as good as Demilov.
Yeah. I especially think that in our region, where once upon a time it used to be super violent and aggressive and early pulls all the time, it's really chilled out a lot. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen a 13-12 whipped out in a ZVZ, but yeah, it's cool to see a bit of aggression being thrown out, rather than a lot more of the macro into Roach. I mean, a lot of the games end up evolving into that anyway. But if you can change it up in the early game, yeah, that's often the swing that you need in your favor to take control of how the rest of it progresses.
Yeah. Well, I kind of see the good here of this pool gas opening for Demi Love. It's very, very safe. And it seems like he's like, oh, I feel like I'm the better player. Demi Love's a very confident player. He's like, I'm going to take this economic hit, but, even though my opponent managed to cut a few more corners than I did, I'm safe and they can't kill me early with something crazy and unpredictable. I like it.
Yeah. And also when you're on match point, like, that's when you play safe, right?
Ooh, got a drone kill there. It's very nice.
Yeah, very good.
You have a chamber again here from Demi, but this time no Roach Warren, and this is exactly what I thought it would be in game one. This is the Carapace.
Yeah. Okay. Little bit more standard, I guess. I mean, both builds are standard, but this one we see a little bit more often.
Yeah. Demi's doing this without a Baneling Nest, though. He's just dropping it now. There it is.
Yeah. I really like that he's formed that wall on the ramp. No visitors allowed.
That's right. Excuse me, sir. You're wearing the wrong shirt for this club.
Mm. And that, if you're Crimson, does spook you a little bit because you're like, oh my god, what is he hiding? What do I need to be afraid of right now? Considering that he's already got the Baneling Nest, that's not too bad, and you see him morph in a couple of Banelings already just to be safe. But yeah, he gonna want to try and see what's happening, and again, he moves in to poke in with a Ling and just try and explore what's actually going on over at this base.
Yeah, he's just being safe. Both players are, or rather Crimson especially, is just being super safe. He's morphed Banelings back at home. He's quite blind as to what's happening. He sees a drone going up for a third base. He can block it, and in fact, might even be able to kill the drone. No, it just turns into an extractor in time. So he keeps the drone alive. Third should happen, but he does see a lot of Lings here. And that's going to make Crimson force his hand. He's getting 16 more back at home. Demilov actually made a ton of Lings, and he's making way more. This third hatchery, I think, is to try and bamboozle Crimson a little bit.
Oh, I like that. Makes those Banelings in the middle of the map, and he's rallied them directly to the mineral line of the natural over at Demi's base.
Yep.
So we'll see if they get there. That could be a really good amount of damage if he manages to get the right Baneling pops. Or is he actually going to bring them along for the main attack? Because he's going to have to dance around Demi's Banes as well.
They're sending in pairs and two, as they have been since the beginning of time. Those first two Banelings of Crimson actually get way past Demilov's Banelings, which sort of pull out in the middle of nowhere. Oh! That Baneling connection on Demilov's Lings was so sick.
Yeah.
That one less so. Kind of made up for it.
Oh, man.
Now, Demi's got characters. He can survive those Baneling hits now.
One hit in that mineral line, and he would be able to clean up so many drones. He tries to target down a few. Only gets 2 for his trouble. So all in all, not great trades for Crimson so far. And Demi has a lot of Lings left over, squeezing out some more drones behind this, knowing that Crimson's going to be making Lings to defend his own base at this point.
Oh, Ling getting surrounded here a little bit. Those Banelings coming forward here from Crimson to try and defend. One of them gets picked off there for not a whole lot of yield. 3 Lings getting hurt. And that last Ling finishing them off. Crimson, I mean, getting a good Baneling connection is still really, really nice, because if you soften up those Lings, then it means your Lings, if they're still alive, win the battle quite fast. Going down to the natural now. Looks like Demilov's starting to get a little bit more work done, getting another Queen kill and another drone line hit on this Baneling if he goes for it. Goes to Lava instead.
Yeah, that might have actually been the better move, because he's still got a lot of Lings. They're just busy dealing with Crimsons at the moment. Otherwise, they'd be rallying over here. And Crimson does stabilize. Does manage to clean up the Lings of Demi. Only losing a couple of workers so far, so that's pretty good. It's been Ling trade so far, and they're pretty even on it.
So what's going bad for Crimson is he's down in workers, but what's going good for Crimson is that he already has a lair. He has Roach Warren production already, and +1 attack nearly done for these Roaches as well. So yes, there is a Carapace upgrade, but the +1 attack on the Roaches negates that. And with lair means he can have Roach speed. Demilove is still on hatchery tech, Zepph.
Yeah,
and
that's not
while
ideal.
he does have a Roach Warren, he's not going to get those all-important upgrades in late stage again. Like, Crimson can actually start +2 attack if he wanted to right now.
And I hope he does. I sort of expected Demi being the fan of mutas that he is, to sort of transition from this a little bit more into maybe a Spire play.
Yeah. Well, he might.
Yeah, I mean, he still could, but I feel like it could be too late because roach speed and +1's already going to be done for Crimson. He can churn out a bunch of roaches and attack before that can ever really happen. Oh. Very nicely defended there. But, yeah, I mean, it could still work if Crimson decides he wants to wait a little bit longer. I don't know.
Oh. Demi's supporting that Baneling there. All those Banelings, plural. Gonna pick up some drones. Maybe getting another Queen would be really, really nice, but he's just shift-clicking through as many drones as possible. Banelings of Crimson go back towards the natural, where Demilove's trying to hit in 2 places at once. Crimson, though, all on this with the defense. It's unfortunate for Crimson that he's down so far in workers. He was only down by like a handful before, but now he's down by 20. And that is substantial. While Demilove does have the worst tech, he finally got a layer up. He is getting roach speed a little bit later, but just the sheer amount of economy that he has versus Crimson.
Yeah, Crimson
He might be able to
needs
just overwhelm Crimson here.
Yeah. Crimson really needs to get across the map because Demi's actually going to have a similar number of roaches, and +1 isn't far away. I mean, we're talking about how good Crimson was looking in terms of upgrades, in terms of having roaches with speed, but it's been enough time that may actually not help him out here because Demi, at this point, is actually about to have more roaches, and his +1 is just a few seconds from coming in, so this is about as late as Crimson can possibly hit and have this still work. Can he actually break through this good concave from Demilove?
I mean, attack is much better than Carapace, but the Carapace upgrade certainly does help here for Demi. Splits those roaches beautifully against the Banelings. Oh my god. Oh. Demilove. I mean, if he wins this next map and he manages 2-0 Crimson here, then he absolutely deserves it. He's playing like an absolute monster in this game.
Well, his economy is much better, and he's going to have a much easier time continuing to churn out roaches. He's already got 10 more than Crimson does. Crimson's trying to take these small battles where he can, also running Lings into the middle line to try and get some sort of advantage, maybe buy himself a bit more time. But at the moment, he does not have a lot of answer to what Demi's army is going to be looking like.
Yeah, I mean, Crimson's army's getting pushed back. Demilove's starting to take a big supply lead here. The run-by of Crimson just not as effective as he wanted. He didn't pull Demilove back. He didn't do huge amounts of damage to the drones. He is starting to win this scuffle down here in the front. A lot of the army supply of Demilove is very, very low in hit points, but there's that fresh high hit point reinforcement. Demilove getting plus to attack a lot earlier than Crimson because of the simple fact that he can afford it. Crimson actually can't afford the 150 minerals, 150 gas that he needs for plus to attack. So he's just making a dream happen here with plus attack roaches. But just time is so against him at the moment.
Yeah, he moves in trying to clean up some of these low hit point roaches and ravages, but it's too much. There's a GG, and Demi takes the 2-0. He's going to be your second player qualifying for the playoffs. All
right, we've got our 2 winners, guys. Our 2 players moving on to the round of 8. It is going to be Demilove and Pez. Pez going in first place and Demilove coming in second. Both players getting that spot off the back of a victory versus Crimson. And that is going to be Group B for this evening. They join on. So we got our first 4 players of the round of 8 already sorted out. So it's Seether and Miyamaka, right? Mm-hmm. Seether and Mio, the Maru killer himself. And then we have Demilove and Pez for this evening.
Yeah.
So good distribution of races so far. 1 Terran, 1 Protoss, 2 Zerks. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nicely done. Congratulations to both Pez and Demi for their efforts tonight. And hopefully we'll be seeing Crimson and Pig in his Protoss form again in future seasons. That actually does it for our broadcast tonight. But there is more coming for Group C, which is going to be next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. AEST. Same time.
We are going
on the StarCraft channel, hopefully.
Yes. We are meant to be on Twitch TV StarCraft as we were on Tuesday. We are going to make 100% sure that we are not clashing with KSL or anything like that. While the Tuesday nights might clash with some other tournaments, it's not going to be on the StarCraft channel. We want this channel to be free and clear for us, for the Oceanic region, to get the attention and the love that it deserves. Honestly, there's a lot of great players now in our region. And as you can see there, Group C and D coming up on the 28th and the 30th of May, respectively. That is next Tuesday and next Thursday, as Zepph mentioned. in Korean Standard Time, Australian Standard Time. If you're American or European, it'll be behind a day.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're a European, it'll be the same day, but it'll be morning for you and evening for
Yeah.
us.
Like 3 hours before now, whatever time it is where you're at, that's roughly when this is going to start. So make sure you check that out. Next week's matches is a bit of an interesting mix of players that we haven't seen before. The group has Risky, but always Frustration and Azure. So the two Protosses are going to tear in a good spread once again.
Yeah, I'm actually really hyped for next week because I mean our two victors that went over for spring are going to be playing and seeing what they look like. Risky is a monster. He's actually gone back to Korea as well. He was in Korea at least today because I saw him behind No Regret in the Pilot Show. So he's at the Unity house practicing, which means his ping to our servers is going to be great, or at least better than playing from Europe.
Yeah.
So the ping disadvantage won't really be there for Risky. And does Probe come back and stay strong? I mean, this guy beat Lambo and Namshar twice at spring, so his PVC is monstrous. Can anyone stop Probe? Is the next question. It's going to be a pretty hype week.
I think it should be pretty easy for Probe to get out of his group. I mean, there's great players in that group as well, but he has been the top seed for a long time, or at least top 2 seed, and for a good reason, because he's had an awesome run in the last couple of years. So looking forward to Group C and Group D, guys. Make sure that you tune in for those as well. But that does it for us tonight. So big thank you to Gamester for running the show and to Insano for doing the observing as always. Maynard, any last words from you?
Just had a great time casting with you again, Zepph. It's been too long. I always feel like the breaks are just... They're too long. They're always too long.
They are.
We should cast more. There needs to be more tournaments for us to cast together.
We should.
We need to make our own tournament with blackjack.
Yeah.
And not the other thing, but just blackjack.
Just blackjack. Okay.
Yeah, we make our own tournament. Anyway, guys, really enjoyed it. We will be on Twitch TV StarCraft next week, hopefully. So please do follow the channel if you don't already. If you don't, start now because you are missing out on a lot of really great stuff. So we'll see you next week. And yeah, great games. Can't wait. See what more of our regions got to show.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.